The top 10 stocks to keep a very close eye on in July 2020. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we have 10 stocks to speak about. Every single one of these companies is very exciting to me for one reason or another. And I'm not going to waste any time. For those of you who want to know exactly what the 10 companies are, here you go. But please watch until the end, or else I'm going to get a really bad watch time, which means that YouTube won't recommend this video to anybody, which means that this video will do really badly, which means that I will be a sad boy. The very first company we're going to be looking at today is Hyliion, or Tortoise Acquisition. Anyway, the ticker symbol is SHLL, and you probably are aware of who these guys are at this stage because they have gotten so much hype behind them. They're the newest EV company. Next up, we have Albertson Stock, ticker symbol ACI, a company who just went IPO on Friday. Third up, we have FSLY Stock, ticker symbol FSLY, again another company who's gotten a lot of attention as of late for very good reason. Fourth up, we have Kirkland Lake Gold, ticker symbol KL, a company who is in gold mining, something I've never really spoken about on the channel before, but these guys are piquing my interest. Fifth up, we have the boys. We have Carnival Cruise Line, okay? Ticker symbol CCL. You all know who these guys are, and they have been making some big movements as of late, and some more news has come out in regards to them. Number 6, we have Nordic American Tankers, ticker symbol NAT. You all know who these guys are, and in a video a while back, a few weeks back, I said I would consider buying these guys at $4 a share, and I've had a few people DMing me about them on Instagram. Seventh up today, we have Delta Airlines Stock, ticker symbol DAL. Now, there was a stage where this was the biggest company in my portfolio by a decent percentage, but since then I have trimmed my positions. 8 up, we have Walt Disney Stock, okay, ticker symbol DIS. Again, you all know who these guys are, and there's a little bit of news after coming out in regards to them. 9th up, we have Virgin Galactic, a really exciting company that I went ahead and bought last week that I am going to be keeping a very close eye on because I do plan on picking up some more. And last but not least, the biggest position in my entire portfolio, we're going to be having a look at Facebook stock, ticker symbol FB. So as you can see, a massive variety of all different types of companies. And right before we get into the first company of today, can I please ask you to smash that like button for me? We are getting so close to 9,000 subs. If you hit that like button, if you watch this video, you will help me get there. And with that being said, if you're new around here, please do hit that subscribe button. It genuinely means so much to me. We're just about to hit 9,000. 10,000 is only around the corner. It's so exciting. And the last thing I'd like you guys to do is drop me a comment down below. Let me know the top 3 companies you're keeping an eye on or you're hoping to buy in July. So with that being said, let's get into the very first company of today. Tortoise Acquisition Corp, okay? Hyliion Stock, ticker symbol SHLL. You all know who these guys are. On Friday, these guys went ahead and went up 41.21%. In general, that's a worrying sign. In general, that's not a company you want to invest in. I think we're all aware of that. But this is a very interesting company. Are these guys the next Nikola Stock? Are they the next Tesla stock? Or are they going to be in a complete league of their own? So these guys are in hybrid energy for class 8 trucks, okay? And there isn't anybody else doing this. There's loads of hybrid cars around, but there's not hybrid solutions for these massive trucks. And what's even more exciting about the fact is that you can hybridize your class 8 truck with the Hyliion hybrid system and enjoy lower emissions, lower fuel costs, and a better driver experience. You don't have to go out and buy a brand new truck. So say for example you want to get an EV related vehicle, okay, and you want to buy it off of Nikola, you have to buy a completely new truck that is not even available to you yet. So if you already have an existing truck, you can't do anything with that anymore. And another thing about Nikola is that their H2 stations, they're not up yet, and it's going to take a very long time for you to actually be able to use Nikola services. Hyliion, on the other hand, is ready to go right now. I also want to make it very clear right now that I am not invested in this company yet. I'm not trying to pump the price up. I may well buy at a later date, but I'm not in yet. I'm not just mentioning them because I want the price to go higher so I can get out with my money quickly. I want to make that very clear. But say for example you have a diesel truck, okay? The Hyliion Hybrid Diesel's modular design allows for easy installation and simple servicing. The barrier for entry here is so small, it pretty much doesn't exist. So if a company like Nikola can go up over 380% based off the back of hype, these guys don't even have products yet. They have some pre-orders coming soon, but they don't have any products. Hyliion have products that are out there as of right now and are ready to go. Now these guys are already up over 140%, so there's been an awful lot of growth. But me personally, I do believe they have higher to go. Before I decide to invest, I do still need to do some more research, but I wanted to mention them because they will be one company I will be keeping an extremely close eye on in July as a whole. Okay, the second company of today, Albertsons, okay? A company who literally went public on Friday, but didn't really get much attention because, well, Friday was an absolutely terrible day in the stock market. The Dow was down 2.84%, the Nasdaq was down 2.59%, and the S&P was down 2.42%. So I think a lot of people were more worried about what was going on in the market than looking at this new IPO. And it didn't have a great first day whatsoever. It very briefly went up a very small amount and proceeded to close the day down 3.24%. Albertsons is the second largest US grocery store company after Kroger, so an absolutely massive company. But as I just said, the IPO didn't go particularly well, but this happens a lot of the time. Oftentimes a company goes public and we see an initial little drop off in them before they start to make any movement towards the upside. Its initial public offering was at $16 each, well below the $18 to $20 range it estimated they would fetch last week. What's more is the company only sold 50 million shares in their IPO rather than the 65.8 million it and its private equity owners had hoped to sell, and so the IPO raised 800 million rather than 1.3 billion. So all in all, it wasn't a successful launch. And they've been trying to IPO for a considerable period of time now. They had attempted to go IPO in 2015 before aborting the effort because of market concerns about its debt levels. And that's what we need to speak about now. How do they look now that they actually have gone IPO? They just had an 8th straight quarter of improving same-store sales and debt reductions enabled by sale-leaseback transactions, improved cash flow and refinancing. So as of right now, they seem to be doing everything right. Since the beginning of fiscal 2019, Albertsons has reduced the amount of its outstanding debt by more than 1.8 billion. And by the end of the fiscal third quarter on November 30th, Albertsons' total net debt to adjusted EBITDA ratio was 3x. They reduced their total debts to $8.75 billion at the end of the quarter versus $11 billion at the end of 2018's third quarter. And for the quarter, Albertsons posted total sales of $14.1 billion, a 1.9% increase, and same store sales of 2.7%. The company's 8th straight quarter of increasing identical store sales. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm all about e-commerce right now. That's some of my favorite places to invest, okay? So something like Albertsons doesn't jump out to me as really exciting straight off the bat, okay? But right now, the company is also seeing efficiency benefits from a pair of micro-fulfillment centers that recently began picking e-commerce orders at 2 stores in California. So they're doing good in regards to e-commerce right now as well, so it does make them a little bit more attractive to me personally. So they have 2,252 stores and 270,000 employees as of fiscal 2019. And right now, the share price is, let's say we're at $15.50. Kroger is the biggest in the US, which has 2,750 stores. And Kroger is trading at pretty much twice the price of Albertsons. And Kroger has a market cap of 25.43 billion. Albertsons, on the other hand, has a market cap of 7.4 billion. So it's a company who right off the bat, after just doing, minimal research, I quite like the look of, and I do plan on looking into them more and hopefully, all going well, picking up a position in these guys. The fact that they were able to go IPO means that they're in a good position, okay? They weren't able to do this for the last 5 years. They've been trying and they've worked really hard the last few years to get debt levels down and to get revenue up. So if they can continue on those trends, I think that this could be a very attractive price for a little bit down the line. Okay, company number 3. Now we're having a look at FSLY, another company a lot of you are more than likely very familiar with because they've been getting a lot of hype on YouTube in particular as of late. And in the last 6 months, this company has gone up over 343%, which is absolutely massive. Now, if you don't know what FSLY do, okay, they're an American cloud computing service provider. Simply put, they help massive companies have faster and safer websites and apps. Now, when we have a look at the balance sheet, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, it's quite a small balance sheet, but it is amazing, okay? Current assets, 241 million. Compare that to 2017 when it was 75.9 million. Amazing. Total assets, 323 million. The same story, grown an awful lot since 2017. Current liabilities, 40.4 million. Compared to our 241 million in current assets, amazing. And total liabilities, 67.8 million. So all in all, in an absolutely fantastic position money wise. And with that in mind, they do only have a market cap of 8.91 billion. So in the grand scheme of things, still quite a small market cap. There could be a lot of room to grow. And these guys only went public April 19th of last year. So relatively new to being a public company. And we can see that not really much happened at all over that first year. There was some ups, there was some downs. And it's only as of late they really started picking up. Now FSLY is growing very, very quickly, okay? The company released its first quarter results in May, which easily beat expectations. FSLY improved its earning from a loss per share of 30 cents in the year ago quarter to a loss of 6 cents, okay? Which outpaced analysts' consensus estimates of a loss per share of 12 cents. And revenue increased 38% in the quarter. And this is really exciting, okay? And the company's all-important enterprise division, which accounts for 88% of FSLY sales, continue to expand. Fastly now has 297 enterprise customers, which are defined as customers who spend $100,000 or more with Fastly annually. Whew, that's a lot of people giving them a lot of money. And the average amount enterprise customers now spend with Fastly increased to $642,000, up from $607,000 in the fourth quarter. Like, these guys work with some massive names, okay? Shopify, Reddit, all you Wall Street bets people out there. Now, these guys right here are one of Fastly's biggest competitors, okay? Akamai Technologies. Current share price at $105.37 a share. Again, a company who was up considerably on the 6-month chart. Their market cap is at $17.1 billion, okay, with a share price of $105. Fastly's market cap is about half of that at $8.91 billion with a price of $86.51. Right now we're looking at a company who still isn't profitable, but more than likely will be very profitable in the coming quarters, you know, definitely within a couple of years. But the fact that they're not profitable, and in the last month they've gone up over 113%, it's odd. That's because the quarter earnings, you know, comparatively were still very, very good. I do love the look of the business. I understand how important they are going forward to massive companies. I will be keeping a very close eye on them, but I'm not sold just yet. Fourth company of today, okay? Kirkland Lake Gold. And these are a gold mining company, and that's not something I've really ever spoken about on the channel, or something I've ever taken too much interest in, to be honest. A lot of people right now are worried about, you know, another stock market crash, and another big concern is inflation. So a lot of people are turning to the likes of gold, you know, whether it be physical or an investment in a company that mines gold, or other precious metals like silver. This is a company who on the 5-year chart has gone up over 2,298%. And they're still trading at a PE ratio of 13.35, which to me seems very good. Now again, I'll be honest, I haven't looked into too many of these gold mining related companies, but as of next week, I'm going to start putting some real time into them because I think that there are some opportunities to be found here. And the first thing I want to do is have a look at Kirkland Lake's balance sheet because it's beautiful. So current assets, 721 million. Total assets, 5.9 billion. Current liabilities, 477 million. So very good position in the short term. And total liabilities, 1.6 billion. Very good position in the long term. A lot of stock investors, you know, it's kind of in our blood to want to diversify. And I personally do want to get into some precious metal relatively soon. And I understand that it's not the exact same thing investing in a gold mining company as it is buying physical gold, but it's just something I want to keep a close eye on. And this is the best looking company I personally have found so far. I mean, the growth has been absolutely crazy. And one other company that also caught my eye, okay, was these guys right here, Newmont Corporation. So they've been around an awful lot longer than Kirkland. They're both at similar prices, okay? Newmont is about $6 more. They have a very similar PE ratio and they have a market cap of 47.63 billion. Kirkland's a little bit cheaper, has a much smaller market cap and has a very similar PE ratio. Again, I'm not particularly sold on any of these yet. I will be looking into a lot more of these companies, but I did just want to mention it in today's video so that it's on your guys' radar and you can go ahead and do some more research too if you'd like. Okay, so they were 4 companies I've literally never spoken about on the channel. Now we have 6 more companies to cover. I'm going to try to go really quick. CCL is up first. Carnival Cruise, okay? Everybody knows who these guys are, okay? They were one of the most spoken about stocks back in late February, early March. A company I've spoken about a few times. I don't want to repeat too much. I just want to bring up the new news that a few people may be interested in. The world's biggest cruise line, which is Carnival, okay, could delay August restart over concerns about passenger safety. And I mean, is this really a surprise? Did people really not see this coming? Cruise lines voluntarily suspend all trips out of US ports until September 15th, the trade group says. Members of the trade group, which includes cruising giants such as Royal Caribbean, Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Lines. Now you may remember Norwegian actually came out and spoke about this before any of the others did, and they said that no, we're not going to be sailing this summer. We're cancelling everything through to October. And I made a video speaking about Carnival a couple of weeks ago and I mentioned this fact and I said, it's quite obvious that all of the cruise lines are going to follow suit. I mean, Norwegian aren't just doing it out of the good of their heart or for the fun of it. They want to sail as soon as humanly possible, or else there is potential they will go bankrupt, or else they will not make money for literally a decade plus. I always have my eyes on cruise lines. I mean, as a YouTuber, you kind of have to because you get asked about them so much. And I've had a lot of people ask me, am I considering buying now? They've fallen back down to $15. Most certainly not. They've fallen back down to this price for a very good reason in my opinion. Now I know a lot of you are holding and you are long-term holders and I completely respect that. I completely understand if you pick these guys up between the $8 and $12 marks, you just want to hold on to them because you believe that in a few years they're going to give you back an awful lot of money, and I completely understand that. Me personally, the first time I really considered buying these guys was when they dipped just below $8 for the second time. And if I Had I've gotten in at that price, I can promise you I would have sold off by now. There is just more and more bad news coming out, okay? They have enough debt to keep them afloat for a considerable period of time, yes, but they're going to have to keep taking on more and more debt at ridiculously high interest rates. We're speaking 11-12% interest rates. It doesn't look good whatsoever. So that is my bi-weekly update for the cruise line industry, okay? On to number 6, Nordic American Tankers, okay? The reason we have to speak about these guys was because in the last video I mentioned these guys in, I said I would consider buying these guys around the $3.50 to $4 mark. Keywords being consider, okay? It was never a definite thing. And so I've had a few messages on YouTube as of late asking me if I'm going to pick them up. I've had a few direct messages on Instagram asking me if I'm going to pick them up. And as of right now, the likelihood of me picking up NAT is very, very, very low. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to say the same things every single video. So what I want to speak about today, okay, is this. The weekly freight rates. The tanker market index, okay? It was all well and good as this was booming up. Look how much it has come down. This will directly affect how much money NAT is going to be able to make going forwards. Now I understand NAT's still in a great position for the rest of this quarter, a good bit of next quarter, etc, etc, but the long-term outlook is getting worse and worse every single month as oil is getting better and better, as supply and demand come back, you know, and come to some sort of regularity, as economies begin to open back up, as people are going back to work, as more planes are flying. Oil prices are going to somewhat go back to normal, and the likes of NAT won't make as much money, simply put. Right now, even at $4 a share, I have absolutely zero interest in picking up NAT. Zero whatsoever. Now that doesn't mean I don't see a world where they can go up. It doesn't mean I don't see a world where they could make 100+% off this $4 share price. I just don't see the risk to reward ratio making any sense with these guys right now. If I was going to invest in these guys at the $3.50 to $4 mark, I would have needed this blue line to at least be up here somewhere. So yeah, that was just a quick point on that, because again, I feel like I have to mention them every now and again. I will keep a close eye on them, because right now with oil, absolutely anything can happen and it could have a massive effect on that. But right now, no plans on buying. Do keep an eye on them though. Delta, Airlines Stock, DAL Stock. This company will forever have a very big place in my heart. It was the first company that ever got me really, really, really excited. And for a long time, they were the biggest position in my portfolio. I made a video about 2 weeks ago, right about here, saying that I was going to sell some of my airline stocks. And people in the comment section thought I was absolutely crazy, especially because I've been such a bull on them for so long. I don't think a lot of people understood what I was saying, okay? I'm not selling all of my airline stocks. I haven't just completely done a 180. I still believe in the airline industry as a whole, but I mean, come on guys. Since that video came out, DAL itself has dropped down close to 15% again. Its aftermarket hours are down again. I love Delta, okay? And what I wanted was this. I wanted this 50% move to happen over the span of 3 to 6 months. I didn't want it to happen in a week, because when things happen in a week like this, it's always going to just be followed by this massive sell-off. And when they hit $35 a share, I was so ready to sell out of my position completely. If I had have done so, I would have gotten away with some very nice profit. I'm speaking 45+% profit, but I didn't. Partly because of, I suppose you could call it FOMO, okay? I worried that it would keep going up higher and higher, even though I knew what was happening didn't make any sense. Since that video, I did sell half of my position in Delta with the intentions, and this is very important, with the intentions of buying back in later on. Do I have a specific price point? No, not whatsoever. Do I care if I miss out or if I end up buying back in at $30 a share? No, not whatsoever. Until I see a really solid reason to go heavy into Delta again, or until I see, you know, a massive drop in the shares price, I won't be picking up anymore. They still hold a very special place in my heart. I am emotionally attached to this company. I know people say don't trade emotionally, don't invest emotionally, blah, blah, blah. We all have emotions, we can't help it. And maybe I would have been smarter if I wasn't emotionally attached. I would have sold my shares up here when I believed I should have, but I didn't. That's not the case, and it's a lesson learned. I still got away with some profits. Nobody ever went broke taking profit. I do believe, however, that some stage in July, something big will happen. There is your weekly or bi-weekly update on Delta, and that goes for the airline stocks as a whole as well. Like when one's going down, they're all pretty much going down. 3 more companies to cover. Okay, we're actually going to speak about Disney stock today. So me, I have an average price of about $99 in Disney right now. So it's obviously hard to see it going from those 127s hands all the way down to here. You know, I've lost a fair bit of my value in Disney, but it's fine. I actually, to an extent, hope it continues to go down because I do want to own more of Disney. One reason the sell-off has been happening, okay, is because they've had to delay reopening the parks. One big reason people started to buy Disney was because they were reopening the parks. So when they're not reopening the parks, people started to sell. That's the way the world works. Right now, the Shanghai Disneyland Park is open, okay? Florida is expected to be open mid-July. But now, the cases in Florida for obviously the Roni virus are going up and up. So a lot of people are worried that that is going to cause a delay in Disney reopening the parks, which is going to cause a sell-off. You all get the picture. People are trying to predict the news. That's what you do in the stock market. You try to do what's going to happen going forwards. If I see them fall down to $90, $85, something like that, I'm going to be so excited. I honestly don't see it happening. I could see them getting down towards the $100 mark, but again, even that doesn't seem very likely to me because this sell-off here was in anticipation of bad news. So if the bad news does come out, people won't even sell that much. A lot of those people have already sold. So they're not a massive position in my portfolio. I do want them to be. I probably will pick up a share or two at this price, and if they drop below the 100 or even approaching 95, I will load up. Number 9, Virgin Galactic Holdings, ticker symbol SPCE, a company I picked up on Friday. I picked up 25 shares, baby, a brand new position in my portfolio. Now, I spoke about these guys in the video earlier on in the week, so if you want to check that out for a little bit more information, go ahead and have a look at that one. But quickly, why did I buy these guys and why will I be keeping a close eye on them? Well, one reason I'll be keeping a close eye on them is simply because I bought them and they're a new position, so I want to keep up to date with everything that goes on in regards to them. They are the world's first commercial space line and vertically integrated aerospace company, and their mission is to be the space line for Earth, which means they focus on using space for good while delivering an unparalleled customer experience. Now, this won't be one for everybody, okay? I explained this in my other video, but the reason I went ahead and picked up these guys is because I'm a young investor who wants to get into some more higher risk, high return companies. If these guys can be the first successful commercial space flight people, their share price could go up to the moon. Current market cap of 3.27 billion. A small company. You know, people didn't get rich in Amazon when they were a really well established successful company. People didn't get rich investing in Amazon at $1,900. They got rich investing in Amazon when they were down here at $13 or when they were down here at $1.73. That's where people got rich in Amazon. So these aren't going to be for everybody, but me, I want to get into some more of these higher risk, higher return stocks. And who knows, you could get the next Amazon. And the final company for today, the biggest position in my portfolio, Facebook, who dropped 8.32% on Friday. I went ahead and I picked up one more share, and I already plan on picking up another one on Monday or Tuesday if there is another red day or two. I mean, they're my favorite company in the world, so if I see them drop 10% in value, of course I'm going to pick them up. I have a full video on Facebook. If you want to check that out, it'll be in the corner of the screen right now. And I will probably make an updated video on Facebook relatively soon because I get asked about them an awful lot. But long story short, they're my favorite company, my absolute favorite company in the world. One of the best balance sheets that is out there. Current assets, 69.3 billion. Total assets, 138.3 billion. Current liabilities, 15 billion. Total liabilities, 33 billion. I mean, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you already know how much I love this balance sheet. It's beautiful. The reason Facebook stock went down so much, okay, is because of this ad boycott, okay? A lot of companies have pulled their ads from Facebook through July. It's only through July for the time being because of the fact they don't believe Facebook is doing enough to monitor what gets advertised on their platform. Zuckerberg now says Facebook will hide or block content considered hateful or that could harm voting, with no exception for politicians. Problem solved. Why is the company still down nearly 10%? I've seen this happen multiple times. Facebook handles it like absolute professionals every time. I'm not worried about it. I am happy about it because it means I can buy more. And they are the 10 companies. So guys, I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. I was able to put something onto your watch list, give you something to go out and research further, because remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and in these videos, we paint a very small part of the picture. There is nowhere near enough information on any of the companies covered today to go ahead and invest in them. Always do your own research and form your own thoughts and opinions. That is really important. If you did watch until the end and you enjoyed the video, again, please hit that video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and drop me a comment. Those things are all free to do, and genuinely, you've no idea how much they help me out. It literally is everything to me right now. So I appreciate you all absolutely massively for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you for tomorrow's video. Peace.